I'm in room 2847 of the Hyatt Regency Chicago at 8:47 p.m., and on Julian's laptop screen, my husband is about to win a James Beard Award. The ceremony is happening 3 floors below us in the grand ballroom. 2,000 people in black tie, chefs, restaurateurs, food writers, industry legends, live streamed to hundreds of thousands watching around the world. Marcus is down there in the tuxedo we rented last week, sitting at the table 34 with his team from Alma, his sous chef Rosa, his pastry chef Dev, his front of house manager Carmen. His mother, Eliza, is there too, sitting in the seat next to the one that's supposed to be mine. Section 12, row B, seat 47. She flew from Oaxaca for this. Her first time in the United States. First time on an airplane. Julian's hand is on my shoulder. We're sitting on the edge of his hotel bed, both still dressed from earlier, me in the navy cocktail dress I was supposed to wear to the ceremony, him in the button-down shirt he wore to file his coverage for the New York Times. His press credentials are on the nightstand next to an empty wine bottle. On the screen, the presenter is opening an envelope. And the James Beard Award for Best Chef, Southwest, goes to... I know what's about to happen. Marcus texted me an hour ago. I think I might actually win. I can't breathe. I need you here. I texted back. I'll be there soon, just getting ready. That was a lie. I was already in Julian's room. Marcus Torres, Alma, Tucson, Arizona. The ballroom erupts. The camera finds Marcus at his table. He's standing, both hands over his mouth, crying. Rosa is hugging him. Dave is screaming. His mother has her hands clasped in prayer. Marcus walks toward the stage like he's in a dream. He's shaking. When he reaches the podium and the presenter hands him the bronze medal, the most prestigious award in American cuisine, the thing he's worked toward for 12 years, he holds it like it might disappear. I can't believe this, he says into the microphone. His voice is breaking. 12 years. 12 years of working every station in every kitchen that would have me. Of opening Alma with nothing but a dream and a lease I couldn't afford. The camera cuts to his table. His mother is crying. Rosa is filming on her phone. My team at Alma, Marcus continues, Rosa, Dev, Carmen, everyone who believed in this vision, my mother, who taught me to cook, who taught me that food is love, he's fully crying now, and my wife, Amanda, who believed when I had nothing, who ate ramen for 2 years so I could chase this. This is our achievement. The camera pans across the ballroom, searching for me, lands on my empty seat. His mother is looking around, confused, scanning the crowd. The camera lingers for a moment on that empty chair, then cuts back to Marcus at the podium. My phone is vibrating on the nightstand. Marcus's mom calling. I silence it. Julian closes the laptop. We should stop watching. No, I want to... Amanda, this isn't good for you. But I'm staring at the closed laptop, at my reflection in the black screen. Marcus is 3 floors below me holding his James Beard medal, thanking me in front of 2,000 people, and however many thousands are watching this stream, and I'm here with Julian Cross, the New York Times food critic whose 3-star review 8 months ago started the chain of events that led to this nomination. The man whose words in print have the power to make or destroy careers. The man whose hotel room I've been in since 7:30 p.m. while my husband waited for me in the ballroom. Julian's looking at me with something like pity. Are you okay? No, I'm not okay, but I don't say that. My phone vibrates again. Rosa this time. then Carmen, then a text from Marcus's mother in Spanish. ¿Dónde estás? Marcus te busca? Where am I? I'm exactly where I shouldn't be. But let me start from the beginning, so you can understand how I became the woman who missed her husband's James Beard Award to sleep with the food critic who made it possible. I met Marcus Torres when I was 23 and he was 26. I was a dental hygienist at a practice in Tucson, making $58,000 a year and living in a studio apartment with furniture from IKEA and thrift stores. He was a line cook at a high-end restaurant downtown, working the fish station, making $35,000 a year and dreaming of more. We met at a friend's birthday party. Marcus showed up late, still in his chef's coat, smelling like smoke and citrus. He'd worked a double shift and came straight from the restaurant because he'd promised our mutual friend he'd be there. "Sorry I'm late," he said. "Service ran long. Critic was in tonight and chef wanted everything perfect." "Did you impress him?" I asked. "I don't know. I just cook. But I hope so. Good reviews change everything." We talked for 2 hours. He told me about growing up in South Tucson, his mother teaching him to make mole when he was 8, the way she could transform simple ingredients into something transcendent, about working his way up from dishwasher to prep cook to line cook, about his dream of opening his own restaurant someday. "What kind of restaurant?" I asked. "Mexican food, but elevated. My mother's recipes with technique I learned in culinary school. Farm to table, local ingredients, but have flavors from Oaxaca. I want to honor where I come from while showing what's possible." The passion in his voice was intoxicating. Most guys I dated talked about sports or video games or their office jobs. Marcus talked about food like it was religion. "That sounds incredible," I said. "When are you going to do it?" "Someday, when I have the money and the experience. Right now, I'm just learning, saving everything I can." We started dating 2 weeks later. Marcus's schedule was brutal. He worked lunch and dinner service 6 days a week, which meant 11 a.m. to midnight most days. Our dates were late-night tacos after his shifts or breakfast on his one day off. But when we were together, he was fully present, attentive, funny, passionate. 6 months in, he told me he loved me over chilaquiles at a 24-hour Mexican diner. "I know this life is hard," he said. "The hours are insane and I'm always tired and I smell like the fryer. But I love you. And someday when I have my own place, it'll be different. I'll have control over my schedule. We'll have a life." I believed him. I loved him. "I'm in this," I told him. We got married a year later. Small ceremony, just family and close friends. His mother flew up from Oaxaca and made the food for the reception herself, tamales and mole and tres leches cake. It was perfect. For our honeymoon, we drove to San Diego for 3 days. That's all the time Marcus could take off. We stayed in a cheap motel and ate at every taco stand we could find. He took notes on his phone about flavor combinations, techniques, presentations. "Are you working on our honeymoon?" I teased. "I'm always working. This is research." But he smiled when he said it. "Someday this will matter. Every taco I eat, every technique I learn, it's all building towards something." That something was Alma. 3 years into our marriage, Marcus had saved $30,000 and found investors willing to put in another $150,000. He'd worked his way up to sous chef at one of the best restaurants in Tucson. He'd built a reputation. He was ready. Alma opened on a Tuesday in September. Small space, 45 seats, in a converted house near downtown. Farm-to-table Mexican cuisine. His mother's mole recipe as a signature dish. Marcus was executive chef and owner. His name on the lease. His reputation on the line. His dream realized. Opening night, I sat at the bar and watched him work through the open kitchen. He was in constant motion, tasting, adjusting, plating, directing his small team. He looked more alive than I'd ever seen him. "This is it," he said when he finally had a moment to come see me at midnight after the last guest left. "This is everything I've worked for. I'm so proud of you." He kissed me. "Thank you for believing. I couldn't have done this without you." That's what he said. But what he didn't say was that opening a restaurant meant I'd see him even less than before. The first year of Alma nearly broke us. Not our marriage, our finances. The restaurant wasn't profitable. Marcus had underestimated costs, overestimated how quickly word would spread. We were burning through cash. My salary as a dental hygienist was covering our personal expenses, rent, utilities, groceries. Marcus was taking nothing from the restaurant, putting every dollar back into operations. I picked up extra shifts, worked Saturday mornings, cut every personal expense. We ate ramen and beans and rice. I stopped getting my hair done, stopped buying new clothes. Marcus worked 16-hour days, 7 days a week. He'd come home at 2 a.m., smelling like smoke and exhaustion, collapse into bed and be gone again by 10 a.m. "Is it supposed to be this hard?" I asked him 6 months in. "Yes. Every chef I know says the first year is brutal. But if we can survive this, we'll make it." "When do we get our life back?" "Soon. Once we're profitable. Once we have regularity. I promise, Amanda. This is temporary." I believed him because I wanted to believe him. 18 months after opening, Alma was still struggling. Marcus took out a personal loan to make payroll. I picked up a second part-time job at a dental office across town. We were drowning. Then Julian Cross came to Tucson. I didn't know who Julian Cross was when Marcus first mentioned him. I didn't follow food media. I didn't read restaurant reviews. I was too busy working 2 jobs to keep our lights on while my husband chased his dream. "The New York Times is sending someone," Marcus said one morning 8 months ago, breathless with excitement. "Julian Cross. He's one of their main critics. If he reviews us, even if he doesn't love it, just the fact that the Times is paying attention could change everything." "That's great, babe." "You don't understand. The Times doesn't review restaurants in Tucson. Ever. Someone must have told him about us. If he gives us even 2 stars, we'll be on the map. If he gives us 3, he didn't finish, just shook his head like 3 stars was impossible to imagine. Julian came in on a Wednesday night. I wasn't there. I was working my second job, but Marcus texted me updates throughout service. 7:45 p.m. "He's here. Just sat down. I'm freaking out." 8:30 p.m. "He ordered the mole. My hands are shaking." 9:15 p.m. "He's writing in a notebook. Is that good? I can't tell." 10:30 p.m. "He left. Seemed happy. I don't know. This is torture." Julian came back 3 more times over the next week. Different days, different times, ordering different dishes. This is what serious critics do. Multiple visits, comprehensive sampling, trying to understand the restaurant's range and consistency. Marcus was a wreck the entire week, barely sleeping, obsessing over every dish that went out, second-guessing every choice. What if he hates it? What if we're not good enough? You're good enough. You're incredible. But what if I'm not? There was no comforting him. He was spiraling. The review published 3 weeks later on a Tuesday morning. Marcus was at the restaurant early as always. He called me at 7 a.m. crying. 3 stars. He gave us 3 stars. Is that good? Amanda, it's incredible. 3 stars from the Times is rare. He called my mole transcendent. He said Alma is a revelation, a restaurant that honors tradition while pushing boundaries. This changes everything. He read me the entire review over the phone. I was getting ready for work, brushing my teeth while he read Julian's words. Marcus Torres cooks with the intensity of prayer. His mole negro is transcendent, complex, layered, the kind of a dish that makes you understand why food matters. Alma is not just one of the best restaurants in Tucson. It's one of the most exciting new restaurants in the Southwest. Marcus was sobbing by the end. He sees what I'm trying to do. He understands. Within hours, the phones at Alma started ringing. Reservations for weeks out, media requests, food bloggers, other critics. The review had done exactly what Marcus hoped, put them on the map. Within a month, Alma was profitable for the first time. Within 2 months, they had a 2-month wait list for reservations. Marcus's dream had come true. We were going to be okay financially. I could quit my second job. We could breathe. But Marcus didn't slow down. He got busier. Now that they were successful, he felt pressure to maintain it. He hired 2 more line cooks but still worked every service. He started developing new dishes, refining old ones, training his team to his exacting standards. His hours went from 16 a day to 18. I thought success meant more time, I said 4 months after the review. You're working more now than when we were failing. I have to. We have a reputation to maintain. People are coming from Phoenix, from California, because of that review. I can't let them down. What about letting me down? He looked at me like I'd slapped him. What does that mean? It means I've been supporting this dream for years. I worked 2 jobs. I paid our rent. I ate ramen. And now that we've made it, you're still never home. Amanda, this is the restaurant business. These are the hours. You knew that when you married me. I knew you'd work hard. I didn't know I'd never see you. This is temporary. You keep saying that. But when? When is it temporary? He didn't have an answer. 6 months after Julian's review, the James Beard Foundation announced its nominees for the annual awards. Marcus was nominated for Best Chef Southwest. He called me from the restaurant, screaming with joy. I'm nominated for a James Beard Award. Amanda, do you know what this means? It's incredible. I'm so proud. This is because of that review. Julian Cruz put us on the map, and now the Beard Foundation noticed. This is everything I've worked for. The nomination made him even more consumed. Now he wasn't just maintaining a successful restaurant. He was in the running for the most prestigious culinary award in America. The pressure was immense. Media appearances, food magazine interviews, features in Tucson papers. Everyone wanted to talk to the nominated chef, and I was more invisible than ever. That's when Julian reached out to me directly. It started with a Facebook message 2 months after the nomination. Amanda, hope this isn't weird to reach out. I'm doing a follow-up piece about Alma's journey. Would love to include your perspective as the person who supported Marcus through the hard years. Coffee sometime? I should have said no. Should have seen what this was. But I was lonely. and someone wanted to hear my perspective. We met at a cafe downtown on a Thursday afternoon. Julian was in town for some food festival, extending his trip to work on the Alma piece. He was handsome in that aging intellectual way, salt and pepper hair, expensive glasses, tailored button-down shirt. He looked like someone who ate at the best restaurants in the world, which he did. That was literally his job. "Thank you for meeting," he said. I think the most interesting restaurant stories include the people behind the scenes, the partners who make it possible. Marcus is the story. I'm just support staff. That's not true. Every successful chef I know has someone who believed in them when it was just a dream. I'm guessing you were that person for Marcus. We talked for 4 hours about the poverty years, about working 2 jobs, about the sacrifices. Julian listened with complete attention, taking notes, asking thoughtful questions. "Do you feel seen?" he asked at one point. "What?" "By Marcus, by the media. Everyone wants to talk to the chef. But you were essential to this story. Do you feel seen?" No one had asked me that before. "Not really?" "That must be lonely." It was lonely, desperately lonely. Julian included me in his follow-up piece published in the Times 3 weeks later. A whole paragraph about my support. Behind every great chef is someone who believed first. For Marcus Torres, that person is his wife Amanda, who worked 2 jobs during Alma's poverty years, who sacrificed her own comfort so Marcus could chase his dream. Success in the restaurant world is never solitary. Marcus read it and cried. He wrote about you. He sees what you did for me. But Marcus still didn't change, still worked 18 hours a day, still came home exhausted and distracted. The recognition was nice, the paragraph was nice, but I was still alone. Julian and I stayed in touch. He'd text occasionally, "How's Marcus handling the nomination pressure?" Or, "Saw Alma got another great review. You must be proud." Casual, friendly, professional. Until it wasn't. 2 months before the Beard Awards, Julian came back to Tucson to work on a James Beard preview piece, profiles of nominees in different categories. He was in town for a week, staying at a hotel downtown. "Dinner?" he texted. "Would love to catch up. And don't worry, this isn't for a story, just friendship." We met at a wine bar, talked about everything except food, about our lives, our frustrations, our dreams. He told me about his divorce 3 years ago. His ex-wife had wanted children, he hadn't. They'd grown apart. About the loneliness of traveling constantly for work, eating alone at beautiful restaurants. "At least you get to eat at beautiful restaurants," I said. "I eat leftover ramen while Marcus perfects his mole." That doesn't seem fair. It's not about fair, it's about partnership. Is it partnership if only one person's dream matters? The question sat heavy between us. At the end of the night, Julian walked me to my car. "I'm here until Sunday. Would you want to get a coffee again? I enjoy talking to you." "I don't think that's a good idea." "Why not?" Because I knew where this was going, could feel it. "Because you know why?" He nodded. "Okay, but if you change your mind, I'm at the Marriott on Broadway." I went home to an empty apartment. Marcus was at the restaurant until 2 a.m., would come home smelling like smoke, collapse into bed, leave again before I woke up. I texted Julian the next day. "Coffee?" We met at his hotel. The coffee turned into lunch, turned into sitting in the hotel bar until 6 p.m. He was funny, attentive, interested in me. Not in me as Marcus's wife, but in me as Amanda. "What do you want?" he asked. For yourself, not for Marcus. What do you want? I don't know anymore. I wanted to support Marcus's dream, but I thought once he achieved it, we'd have a life together. And we don't. He has his dream. I have nothing. You have you. You're allowed to want things. When he kissed me in the parking garage, I kissed him back. We went to his hotel room. I told myself I was just going to talk, just going to be seen by someone. But we both knew what was happening. Afterward, lying in his bed at 9 p.m., I looked at my phone. 3 texts from Marcus. Long night, might not make it home until 3. Love you. Thank you for understanding. Understanding. I was always understanding. I should go, I told Julian. Okay. This can't happen again. Okay. But it did happen again. 2 more times that week while Julian was in town. Always in his hotel room. Always while Marcus was at the restaurant. The guilt was enormous, but not enormous enough to stop. When Julian left Tucson, I thought that would be the end. Geographic distance, return to reality, back to my life. But we kept texting. Daily at first, then constantly. Good morning messages, late night conversations. He'd send me photos from restaurants he was reviewing. Wish you were here to try this. Me too. Come visit me, New York. I'll show you the city. I can't. Marcus won't even notice you're gone. That hurt because it was true. The week before the James Beard Awards, Marcus was impossibly stressed. I'm not going to win, he said, but just being there, being nominated, this is everything. You might win. I won't, but I'm honored just to be included. He was lying. He desperately wanted to win. We flew to Chicago on Thursday, 2 days before the ceremony. Marcus wanted time to acclimate, to calm his nerves. The James Beard Foundation was putting nominees up at the Hyatt Regency. Can we share a room? I asked when Marcus was booking. I need my own space to prepare mentally, to focus. Is that okay? Sure. We got separate rooms on the 28th floor. I unpacked, took a shower, checked my phone. Message from Julian. I'm here, covering the ceremony for the Times. Room 2847. Same hotel, 3 floors up. Want to get a drink? He texted. I shouldn't. You should. Marcus is probably already at some chef event. You're alone anyway. He was right. Marcus had texted. Nominee dinner tonight. Probably won't be back until midnight. Love you. I met Julian at the hotel bar. Wondering turned into 3, turned into going back to his room. Are you going to the ceremony tomorrow? I asked. I have press credentials. I'll be in the media section. What about you? I'm supposed to sit with Marcus's family, his mother, his team. Are you going to? I don't know. Come see me instead. Julian, I'm not saying we do anything. Just come watch it with me. You don't have to sit there pretending to be the supportive wife when you're drowning. I didn't answer, but I didn't say no. The next day was the ceremony. Marcus was vibrating with anxiety. We had breakfast together in his room. He could barely eat. I can't believe this is happening, he said. 12 years. 12 years of every kitchen that would hire me, of burning myself on stoves and cutting my fingers and working doubles and sleeping 4 hours a night. And it all led here. You did it. You should be so proud. We did it. Amanda, none of this happens without you paying rent when I had nothing, without you believing. The guilt was suffocating. I need to go get ready, he said. Ceremony starts at 7. I'll meet you in the lobby at 6:30. Okay. He kissed me. I love you. Thank you for being here. I went back to my room and stared at my reflection. I could still do this right. Could put on my dress, go to the ceremony, sit next to his mother, cheer when he won, if he won, be the wife he thought I was. At 6 p.m., Julian texted, "Change of plans. Media section is chaos. Want to watch from my room instead? Quieter. We can stream it. I'm supposed to be downstairs. But do you want to be?" No. I didn't want to sit there with Marcus's mother and his team and pretend I was the hero of this story when I was the villain. At 6:45, I texted Marcus. "Running late. Had a wardrobe crisis. I'll slip in once ceremony starts." "Okay. Love you." I went to Julian's room at 7:30. Ceremony had already started. We opened his laptop, pulled up the live stream. I told myself I'd just watch for a few minutes, then go down. But I didn't. At 8:47 p.m., they announced Best Chef Southwest, and Marcus won. And I wasn't there. Julian closed the laptop after Marcus's speech ended. We sat in silence. "You should call him," Julian finally said. "And say what?" "That you're proud. That you got held up. Something." My phone was vibrating constantly. Marcus's mom, Rosa, Carmen, Marcus himself. I silenced it all. "This is bad," Julian said quietly. "I know. You should go down there." "I know." But I stayed in his room for another 30 minutes, paralyzed by what I'd done, by what I'd become. When I finally went downstairs, the ceremony was over. The ballroom was emptying out. Chefs in their awards photos, families celebrating, media interviews happening in corners. I found Marcus near the stage. He was holding his bronze James Beard medal, surrounded by his team. His mother was crying, hugging Rosa. When Marcus saw me, his face did something complicated. "Where were you?" he asked. Not angry, confused, hurt. "I'm so sorry. I was in my room getting ready and I wasn't feeling well and I lost track of time. You missed it. I won and you weren't there." "I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so proud of you." His mother was looking at me like she didn't recognize me. Rosa was looking away. Carmen's face was carefully neutral. "I kept scanning the crowd," Marcus said. "I wanted to see your face when they called my name. You were supposed to be in that seat." "I know. I messed up. I'm so sorry." He looked at his medal. "This was for both of us. Everything I said in that speech, I meant. You made this possible." The guilt was crushing. "Can we go somewhere to talk?" "Not now. I have media interviews, photos, nominee reception." He looked exhausted. "We'll talk later." But we didn't talk later. Marcus had obligations all night. By the time he got back to the hotel, it was 2 a.m. I was in my room, pretending to be asleep when he texted, "Too tired to talk tonight. Tomorrow." The next morning, there was a knock on my door at 9 a.m. Marcus standing there with 2 coffees and his medal around his neck. "Can I come in?" "Of course." He sat on my bed, carefully placed the medal on the nightstand, looked at it for a long moment. "Where were you?" he asked. "Actually, where were you last night?" "I told you." "Amanda, please, just tell me the truth." I could have lied. Could have stuck to the story about not feeling well, but looking at him sitting there with his James Beard medal, the achievement he'd worked 12 years for, the speech where he thanked me in front of thousands of people. I couldn't lie anymore. I was with someone else. Silence. Long, heavy silence. "During the ceremony?" "Yes." "Who? Does it matter?" "Yes." "Julian Cross." I watched Marcus's brain process that. The food critic, the one whose review started everything, whose words in the New York Times put Alma on the map, led to the nomination, led to this award. How long? 2 months? Is it serious? I don't know. He picked up his medal, held it in both hands. I got this last night. Held it. Gave a speech thanking you. They scanned the audience looking for you. The camera showed your empty seat. My mother sitting alone, looking confused. And you were upstairs with the man who made my career. Marcus? Do you love him? I don't know. Do you still love me? Yes, but I don't know if that's enough anymore. He set the medal down carefully. I worked 80-hour weeks. I sacrificed everything. I know I was absent. I know I asked too much, but I thought we were building something together. We were, but then you built it and I was still alone. So you cheated on me with a food critic during my James Beard ceremony. When he said it like that, the ugliness was undeniable. I'm sorry. Are you? Because you made a choice. Last night, you made a choice. I was 3 floors below you, living my dream, thanking you, and you chose him. You chose the restaurant every day for years. That's not the same thing, isn't it? We stared at each other across the hotel room. I need you to leave, he said finally. When we get back to Tucson, I need you to move out. Marcus, I mean it. I can't do this. I gave you everything I had. It wasn't enough. Fine. But I can't be married to someone who wasn't there when I won the biggest award of my life. I was there. You were with someone else. That's the truth. That's what I'll remember every time I look at this medal. He stood up, took the medal, walked to the door. For what it's worth, he said without turning around, I'm sorry I wasn't a better husband. I'm sorry I was absent. But you deserved better than me, and I deserved better than this. Then he left. 9 months later, I'm 30 years old and living in a different apartment in Tucson. 1 bedroom, $1,100 a month, furnished from the same thrift stores I used when I was 23. Full circle. Julian went back to New York after the Beard Awards. We texted for a few weeks. He was apologetic, concerned, asked if I was okay, but there was no future there. He's a food critic who reviews 300 restaurants a year and sleeps in hotel rooms. I was a distraction in Tucson. He's moved on. His Instagram shows him with a pastry chef from San Francisco now. They look happy at a restaurant in Paris. Marcus kept Alma, won another James Beard Award last month. Outstanding chef, a national category. I saw it online. He's remarried too, to Rosa, his sous chef. The woman who was in the ballroom when he won, who was there for the hard work, who understands restaurant hours and the grind. His Instagram shows them in the kitchen together, both in chef whites, laughing. The comments are full of power couple, and she gets it. She does get it. I never did. I still work as a dental hygienist, same job, same salary. My coworkers don't know I was almost part of a James Beard winning story, that I gave a chef his poverty years and then missed his victory. Sometimes I drive past Alma. There's a photo in the entrance. Marcus holding his first Beard medal, his mother beside him, his team around him. They cropped me out. The empty space where I should have been is just gone. Like I was never part of the story. Marcus gave me credit in his speech, said I made it possible, but I wasn't there to receive that credit, and now it doesn't matter. I think about that night sometimes, about being 3 floors above him while he achieved his dream, about choosing Julian, who forgot me in 3 weeks, over Marcus, who loved me enough to thank me in front of the world. The restaurant industry is brutal, The hours are inhuman. Marcus was absent, but he was building something beautiful. And I was part of that until I decided I wasn't. Now he has his medals and his restaurant in Rosa, the woman who shows up, who's there for the hard parts and the victories. And I have this apartment and memories of being the woman who missed the James Beard Awards because I was upstairs with the critic who made the nomination possible. There's no redemption here, no lesson that makes it less ugly. Just the knowledge that when it mattered most, when my husband needed me to show up, I chose to be somewhere else. Marcus cooked with the intensity of prayer. Julian wrote in that review. He poured everything into his dream, and I couldn't pour anything into supporting it. I don't expect forgiveness, don't deserve it. I'm just the woman who missed her husband's James Beard Award to sleep with a New York Times food critic. That's who I am, and I have to live with that now.